In my recovery, I've always looked to nature for insight and inspiration about how change and growth occur. Sometimes nature teaches that change occurs in grand, sweeping gestures, such as an ocean gale tearing a new gap in a coastline, or a flood forever changing a river's course. But grand, sudden change is the exception rather than the rule. Most change in nature is far more quiet, grace-filled, and subtle. Most changes in nature are more evolution than revolution. I am sitting here writing this essay on the eve of the winter solstice. For us in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice is the shortest day and the longest night of the year. I love to contemplate how something wonderful is happening all around me on this night. It is happening quietly and without fanfare. In the midst of the holiday bustle, the solstice comes without bows or ribbons or any effort on our part. Yet a change is taking place. It is a slow and imperceptible change. In the days following the solstice, the daylight will grow longer. Not by leaps and bounds, but by seconds and minutes. Each day will bring a slight increase in daylight, so that by spring our world will erupt into bloom and warmth and new life everywhere. All of spring's possibility is right here, right now, in the very depths of the longest, darkest night of our year. Spring comes not as revolution, but as evolution, whose origins are in this longest night. When times are rough for me, I remember this lesson from nature, and it sustains my recovery. With our freshly minted New Year's promises, advertisers tempt us with exaggerated promises of revolutionary change. Eat all you want, don't exercise, and still lose weight, money-back guarantee. Scientific breakthrough leads to herbal cure for diabetes. Totally safe, nicotine-free cigarette filters. If revolutionary, overnight change sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The FDA has just released a great 3-minute video for consumers with practical advice about how to avoid health frauds and health scams on infomercials, the web, and snail mail flyers. As we encourage service users and staff to engage in whole health recovery, it's important to teach people to discern false advertising and claims for revolutionary overnight cures. In closing, let me say that revolutionary, miraculous, overnight change can happen in our lives, but that's the exception rather than the rule. Nature teaches that most change is evolutionary. It takes time to change old habits and to begin new ones. It takes time to recover after a diagnosis of mental illness, and that's okay. What's important is that we start. Change most often begins with very small, nearly imperceptible steps. But just like the progression from the winter solstice into spring, the tiny steps add up. Something brand new awaits us in this new year if we take that first step and then the next. This is Pat Deegan. Thanks for listening.